G'day guys, welcome back to the Fon Supercoach YouTube channel. Today we are reviewing round 14. I do apologise, it is a Wednesday. This video is meant to come out on a Monday. I've been unwell for the past 5 or 6 days, so that's why the video is coming out now. But yeah, let's get into it. As you can see, it was a good round for me. Moved up 12k ranks, up to 28,000, so probably passed a few ghost ships, if you like, from this week. And yeah, looking forward to getting into it. 2204 was a good score. Not sure why this says I have 5 trades left because I have 8. All right, let's get into it. So, in defense, so I must admit, I didn't watch this game. I had zero interest in watching St Kilda play because I find them boring and I needed rest. So I went to bed instead. But yeah, no surprise with Nazaya back to halfback that Sinclair's scoring suffers a little bit. I'm hoping it doesn't suffer too much, but we'll see from here. Everyone has Sinclair anyway, so it doesn't matter. Max Holmes 124 against the Crows was really good. Yeah, really happy with him. Gets a lot of ball off halfback, so that's good. And then Whitfield against the Saints with a 99. As I said, I didn't watch this game. I'm not sure what happened, but I would have thought this would have been a good matchup for him. I saw Ash scored like 50 points in the last 10 minutes of the game as well. So I guess just didn't get enough of the ball at the end of the game, which is unfortunate. Worrell 79, would have liked a little bit more, but this is just the pick that I signed up for. It was either Worrell or Roberts. So I'm probably a little bit lucky in the sense that Roberts is probably out for the season with that shoulder dislocation. Just sometimes you make the wrong decision and you get rewarded for it. That's the luck in this game. And I've been rewarded in this sense for picking Josh Worrell. I'm still behind on points, but how many points is a trade worth? I don't know. Probably the points are worth more. The points differential from owning Roberts instead of Worrell is probably worth more than the trade, but it is what it is. And then looped Will Edwards on. I really like Will Edwards. He's a ripper of a player. And I think he's underscored a little bit in some of these games, but I'm not going to complain about scoring. Yeah, but I thought he was actually quite good against Port. Made a couple of bad errors, but was mostly pretty good. And then Hawker Hahn, 68. We take that from a bench rookie, just average 70s. That's pretty good. He was... these guys played with the Dogs, by the way, but I thought Hawker Hahn was really good. So yeah, that was good. And then Dawson, 184 on debut. I traded him in round 2. So what's the saying? Never wrong, just early. And I was early in that case, but yeah, he went really well. He was superb in this game. Again, I thought he was better than 184, to be honest. He was on I think he was on 68 at quarter time with like one of the most absurd stat lines I've ever seen at quarter time. And I was just like, shouldn't this be like 85? Anyway, it is what it is. We take the massive vice captain score. Jordan Dawson, one of my favourite players in the comp, so good to be owning him again and getting on the big captain score. Zach Butters, 128 against the Swans. I'm a little bit surprised. I thought this score wouldn't be as good. But yeah, he was really good. Surprise, surprise. Zach Butters is good at footy, so no surprise there. Just some of the ground ball handballs he does, just like picks it up and handballs in one motion. Just truly spectacular player to watch. So yeah, it was wrapped for Zach. And then Bont looks so tired. I've made an error. I knew that there was scope for this to go wrong. And this seems like it's going to go poorly going Bont. So hopefully he turns it around and rewards me for paying 600k for him. But we'll see how it goes. And then Oliver was reasonable. I watched like 20 minutes of this game and Oliver was pretty good during that 20 minutes. So yeah, pretty happy with him. Callahan, I believe, got some attention, but I'm not 100% sure. Just this guy, I don't know what's happened this year. I think I was reading something where Oliver gets a lot more of the like outside ball and the ground ball than Tom Green did. So maybe Oliver is negatively affecting Callahan. I don't know. I thought this was an absolute layup of a pick, but it's not going well so far. Matt Rowell, 101. So had Tom Atkins hanging off him at every stoppage, and I thought it was really unlucky not to get a few free kicks, but I think Dimmer's done all the complaining about the umpiring that is required. on that basis, so I'm not going to harp on it. And then Josh Dunkley, 87 against Richmond. Spoiler alert, he is gone this week, so I've had enough of this. He, like, every time so I was watching the Knicks. I think it was the Knicks game or the soccer. It was one of them. I was watching this whilst, it might have been both, but I was watching that whilst watching this. Like, I had this game on the other screen, and every time I'd look over, it was just like Dunkley would be clangering the ball. Like, literally, I remember one time I look over, he has like a ground ball get, and then like hack kick that goes 20 meters straight to a Richmond player. And another time where I turn over and he just like pile drives a guy in the head who's picking the ball up. I'm like, Dunks, man, like, what is this? So he's gone this week. I've had enough. Jones 55, whatever, in a smacking. That's pretty good for a small forward. And then in the ruck line, I finally got the big Gawn score, which was really good. He's just so good. And when he unleashed that bomb in the first half, I was like, oh, this is going to be a good game. And it was good for my Demons as well, who I was really concerned about this game going into it as a Melbourne supporter, but we won. So you can't complain with that. But yeah, Gawn was tremendous as per. And then in the forward line, Sheasel against against West Coast with a 140 was really good as well. LDU got the attention. He still scored reasonably well, just tackled a lot. So that was good for LDU owners. But yeah, Sheasel was able to run around and do as he pleases. Nice matchup this week in Richmond, so that'll be good. Petrarca 93. Honestly, take this in this game where Geelong were just considerably better than the Suns. There's some interesting speculation going on out of Gold Coast that the players are off the coach, and this one I've never heard before, that the coaches are off the players. So I don't know what's going on at the Suns, but it's bubbling and brewing away, and I'm a little bit concerned having 3 Suns players at the moment, I will be honest. So hope they turn it around. Not when they play Melbourne at home, but otherwise I hope they turn it around. But yeah, anyway, Horn Francis 112. This guy is seriously good, and like I watched some of the things that Danger does, and Danger's attack on the footy is just unbelievable. I'm using Danger as a comparison because that's what Horn Francis has been compared to at times. But Danger does not kick the ball anywhere near as well as Horn Francis does. So, yeah, he's been a great trade-in so far. Close to the only good one of the year. Obviously, I had Dawson this week, so that seems a little bit hypocritical. But yeah, Horn Francis was really good. Pickett 141 with Day Wicks like trying to tag him for half the game. But, yeah, I don't know. Cozzy was just too good. And as we expect with Cozzy, when he gets a matchup he can exploit, he goes really well. Took Miller 67, just poor use of the ball, like just does my head in. I think a lot of these outside players do tend to have issues at GMHBA because they kick the ball long down the line, but there's no bound. Like the wings are skinny at GMHBA and they just kick it out of bounds on the full all the time. And I think Took did that a couple of times. So that is what it is. Obviously, I have my concerns with the Suns players, but what can you do? Durham 90, we paid $360K for that, is what it is. Probably didn't need a scramble to get him in, but I'm not complaining. He was a good value pick, so I went for it. And then Murdoch 53. This is why, like, as much as I love Murdoch and as good as he is, these first year players tend not to have the longevity of the full season, so they are very rarely keepers. And this is what we're seeing here with Milan Murdoch. So, yeah, he'll be in my trade plans this week, with which we can get into now. So, what are my plans for this week for trades? So it's pretty simple. I got 3 players I want to move on. Well, I'll start with the 2 because I want to do 1 upgrade at the very least. So we're going to do... I don't know if I'll end up going Fitzgerald, but I think I will. It's either him or Artemis. Artemis is interesting because of the Roberts injury, but I just don't trust Essendon at all. So I'm tempted to avoid. Also has had the calf issue, and I don't know if that will come good. So we'll probably go Fitzgerald. And my plan is to loop him and Hawker Hahn and get my last score. So we're going to move him here. And then we are going to bring in... we're going to do this. James Sicily, who has a fantastic run home. So why James Sicily? As I said, fantastic run. So Gold Coast, even though this is away, this is a good matchup, a good fixture. GWS has been a good fixture for halfbacks this year. Melbourne has been a very good fixture for designated kickers, which Sicily also is. Carlton, good matchup. Richmond, good matchup. Essendon, good matchup. I think North is not a great matchup, but it is North, so I wouldn't be surprised if he puts up good numbers here. Brisbane, I don't know what this matchup looks like this year, but I can't imagine it's too bad. Collingwood's a terrific matchup for these designated kicker types, and then West Coast is a good matchup. So absolutely love the run for James Sicily. So he is in. And as I said, I am moving on Dunkley. So why am I doing that? Well, I sort of decided, like, what's the value of an injury trade versus a guy who's a primo averaging 85 for the rest of the year? And if I can get 20 points on that per week plus an extra game, I just think the points end up in my favor. Well, the effective value of the trade versus the points is skewed towards the points. So I'm going to make the trade now. And I can sort of get anyone I want. And there's a couple of options. So I could wait a week and just hold Dunkley and get Nazaya after his bye. Or I could get Nazaya now, but then he misses the game anyway. This is going to be a painful non-own for the rest of the year. And I understand that. But I don't think there's a whole lot I can do about it. Like, I think you'll get attention in this game, and this game, and this game, and this game. But all the other games are like, they're going to be 160s probably. So it's going to be a tough own, or non-own rather. So Nozai would be one that I like, but because he has the bye, I'm just going to let it go. The other one that I really like is Luke Jackson. Because he scores Supercoach points for fun. Now, is Shrek going to come back in? Shrek is Sean Darcy for those who aren't familiar with the nickname. I'm not sure. I think that when Sean Darcy was playing, he was going reasonably well anyway. So, like, there's not many bad... Like, this is the only really bad score. I'm kind of okay with that. So, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't think he gets rested if Fremantle start resting players. So I'm willing to go with that. It's also a captain's option for this week, which I quite like against Geelong. But what that means is this is how the side ends up. So there's one, maybe 2 or 3 fake premiums here. I'm happy to consider all these guys real premiums because they're forwards. Don't love Worrell, but we'll see. Very confident in Sicily from this point on. And then Clark is Clark. Like, he's been doing my head in, but I don't think there's much I can do about it. So this is how we're going to go. Now, the other option would have been Bailey Smith, who has now been ruled out. So I can't remember which player I was trading in and discussing about having the extra game in hand, or why I was not going to go with Smith or Heaney, because I thought they would miss another game at some point. Smith, I thought would get managed, not ill, but that looks like it's happened, and I've probably been a little bit lucky in that regard. So we're pretty happy with whatever decision I made there, so that is good. Now, how are we going to line up for this week? I think we're just going to line up like this. The only missing player is Durham, which is interesting because I traded Dunkley and I don't have any of the Sydney guys. So yeah. And let's do captains, vice captains. So, real easy one. We're going to do Luke Jackson as the vice captain. I've moved Cameron to flex, by the way, just because he has the later game in case things hit the fan. So, yeah, we've got Luke Jackson here. I don't love anyone in this particular game. There's no one else I'd go in this game, by the way. I don't love anyone except for Max Gawn in this game. It sounded to me, I'm a bit of a Melbourne nuff, so I was listening to the coach presser pre-lead up, and it sounded like there would be attention potentially to Dawson, not a tag, but like a stoppage matchup, and then just like general awareness in open transition. So I think this is probably not the game for going Dawson. So I'm going to not go with Dawson in this one. Could go Gawn. I really don't mind Gawn. But I'm going to assess the other options anyway. I don't know how Carlton has been for inside mids, so I'm probably not going to go there. I don't have a lot of trust in Whitfield at the moment either, so I'm going to ignore this game. Butters against Collingwood is quite interesting, but with Ed Allen tagging recently, I'm going to also avoid this. I'm also going to avoid Nick Dacos because he can't hit the side of a barn by foot at the moment, so I'm not interested. And then the one that I quite... So for me, there's two options. It's either Sheasel against Richmond. I would love to know his history against Richmond. Yeah, 148, 185. Don't know what happened in this game. He's probably playing forward because Clarkson's a terrorist. Or Gawn against Adelaide, who I believe Adelaide is one of the matchups that he normally towers up. 2025, round 17. I have no idea what happened in this game, so I've got no insight into this. But yeah, I think Gawn is a very good fallback option. I'm going to go a little bit more, I guess, risk versus reward and just take Sheasel. I think Gawn's the lower floor, safer floor. I think Sheasel's the higher ceiling, so I'm just going to go with this. I'm so far back, I might as well take the punt. Odds are Jackson VC against Geelong goes well anyway. So that's how I'm lining up for this week. If I want to take the VC, I'll just put the C on Durham. Brilliant. As far as other trading options go, if you didn't have Dawson, would I pay 600K for him? Honestly, yes. The run is that good. If you need forwards, Isaac Rankin is back. A little bit of buyer beware. I don't think Rankin will play a whole heap of mid-time, at least in the first couple of games back. So just be aware of that. If Rankin was going to go straight back into the midfield, no questions asked. I think he would be quite good. One that I have seen get a little bit of interest this week is Joe Richards, who is now playing as a centre-bounce midfielder. And he's obviously going on 99, 126. I think this game was centre-bounce midfield as well, so he's scoring quite well. I don't know if it holds is my problem. Like, I look at Port Adelaide, and maybe they've decided that they need speed in the midfield, so they don't really want Wines and Drew in there all the time. So they want more speed, and that's why Joe Richards is in there. Like, the run is not bad. This Sydney game is obviously not great. But other than that, and neither of this Freo game, and I think North is restrictive, but otherwise the good game, like there's plenty of good fixtures in there. I don't hate the option if you need a budget one. The other one is Brent Daniels, who is now I think leading the CBAs for the Giants, or he's comfortably top 3 at the very least. Carlton's a great matchup. Hawthorn not so much, Freo not so much, Geelong probably not so much. But then the rest, and neither is Sydney, so... Yeah, the matchups again aren't great, but for 400K, this might not be a better buy. I don't know if I'd prefer Richards or Daniels. I think if you've got, but I think I'd prefer Daniels to Touk, to be honest. I just don't. I have very low faith in Gold Coast at the moment, and this Freo matchup is not great, but the rest of them are kind of fine. Neither the Hawthorn matchup's not good either. So, yeah, they're the options I don't mind. I think people will be interested in Cherry, but what we've seen with Cherry over the last few weeks is the CBAs are gone. So, this 152, I think you got to ask yourself, why did this happen? This game was absurdly high stoppages, and I think on 3 different occasions in the fourth quarter, West Coast kicked the ball straight down Cherry's throat when it was maximum scaling. So, those 3 marks and corresponding possessions, he probably got 30 points for those. So, and I've said this before with Cherry. I said this about this West Coast game. The guy does not intercept mark. It is not a reliable means of scoring. Now, I'm sure Richmond and Essendon will be able to make him look like prime Max Gawn, but like the rest of these are not great. There's still a Gawn here. There's still the Hawthorn duo rucks. There's still a Grundy. I'm not big on Tristan Cherry. I think like the jumping rucks are just killing him around the ground. And a lot of the rucks I've noticed have worked out that if you're against a wrestler in the around the ground contests, you don't have to wrestle. You can actually just step back and jump. And all of a sudden, Cherry has no chance at winning the hit out. And I think that has really affected Cherry. I remember going on early about this 128 and the one, obviously I traded in for this 68. But like the scoring is so erratic. I'm trying to think like this is like it'd be like owning Shea Bolton where the good is really good and the bad is super bad. And I just think that's too frustrating. And I'm just concerned, like, the guy's lost his CBAs, which obviously the CBAs is only a small amount of ruck contests per game, but that is alarming that a ruckman is losing, that your star ruckman has lost the centre bounces, and his TOG is also quite low compared to the other rucks. So I think the ability to score is really hampered, and he can still grab these good matchups where there's high stoppages and all that, and he can feast on them. Like, this matchup, so this is against Solo Vicentini, Flynn, Briggs, Geelong's easy. So the only respectably good score is this one, because this was just against Moyle as well, I believe. Unless Witt's played, then this is quite respectable as well. But like, the guy, I'm just very concerned about Cherry's scoring, and it's just not something I want to trade into. I'd just rather spend 9K and get to Luke Jackson. Like, it's just a no-brainer to me. And then if you needed a ruck and you couldn't afford Gawn and you already had Jackson, I still think Cameron's not bad. Let's have a look. Are there any other rucks? Oh, there's Tim English. But Tim English has the bye, which is a problem. I think Sweet is honestly not too bad either. The problem is you just don't know if Carr's going to bring back. I mean, the 100K is probably worth more than... just going to Cherry for 100K is probably a little bit better. Trying to have a look. Who else? Dude, Williams is 470K. Yeah, I'm not sure. If you're like, if your ruck situation is you have Luke Jackson and no one else, I think you're just going to fork up for Max Gawn or and Grundy's on bye. You probably wait a week, to be honest. So yeah, that's sort of my views on the week and the captain's options, trade-in options. Let me know how you went below in the comments, and let me know what your trade-in plans are for this week. I will see you guys Monday, unless I'm sick again, next week. Bye, guys.